Hey there YouTube, welcome back to another black powder update. If you seem to remember the last time I did a black powder update, I said that I was in the midst of doing multiple things at once, and I'm now at that point where I finished all those things I was doing, so I'm ready to give you a look at what I've completed. So the first thing I'm going to show you is something that I've been doing for quite a long time. They've kind of just been in the background. And they're basically just the four riflemen that were in the Perry's box set. I've been doing these, like I say, in the background between other projects, and I decided to finish them off and go out the way. So, like I say, they're kind of a little bit too small to be of any real effect. They're even too small to be their own little unit, like my French. They've got a little sort of a splinter group of Voltiers that just go off on their own little small unit, and I'm kind of hoping that eventually these guys will be in a similar sort of vein to that. Basic extra little unit, obviously not historical to my division, but an extra unit all the same. So I'll just give you a quick look at these guys. Obviously, again, I was watching Leon T66's video on how to paint these guys, and just saying that like my technique is like completely different to how he paints. But I think they came out okay. I used Vallejo military green for the rifle jackets, and everything else is pretty bog standard, really. Give you a quick spin around. So yeah, that's one. Obviously the two duplicates of the same figure, but I think they came out okay. They painted up really nice. I do really like them. I think I was thinking about getting Warlord 95th rifles to sort of bolster up their platoon, but I think I might go for Perry's, you know, especially if they're you know, the metals come out as good as these guys do in plastic. So yeah, there's another one. And finally, one more. So there you go, that's the little unit of rifles. Just put those off to the side. Next up, a project that I've been wanting to do for a while. You seem to remember me getting a pack of Victrix British artillery way back in sort of January. Well, I've actually finally got around to finishing my second and last battery. I've just done something a little different in the fact that I've actually got like a separate extra officer. I had him sort of basically laying around because I normally only put one officer per two guns, but I thought this guy could be like a higher rank. He could be like a captain or major, and he's basically you know, I always sort of set my bases up to be like a little mini vignette. So basically this command, the higher rank, is basically liaising with the lieutenant there, or the lieutenant, and as they're sort of loading and preparing the guns ready to fire. And I think they came out pretty cool. I went for 9-pounders for this time to give the Brits a little bit of extra heavy power to counteract the French's 12-pounders. And just so happens that 9-pounders are historically correct for the artillery for these boys, so for my division, so that kind of worked out quite a good choice. So I'll give you a closer look at them. Obviously these guys are Victrix, like I mentioned. This is the stand with the officer. So I'll give you a quick look at it. Went for a slightly different basing style again this time. I think it came out pretty cool. You've got somebody, this cannon's kind of in the process of being loaded. the officer there. You know me, I always like painting up my officers. Can't really get in on this guy because just his position, his sort of angle is kind of off shot. But yeah, you get the gist of him there. So that's one of them. Second one, again more or less the same, but slightly different. I went for different positions on all the guys this time because obviously the way these guys work is they don't really give you any diagrams of how to set them up. They just give you like a rough guide to which arms are compatible with which bodies. So kind of you're kind of limited, but at the same time not, because you find that other arms will fit as well. Actually, talking about arms, if you quickly go back to my officer here, I actually converted this arm. I basically took one of the arms that are sort of down by the side. I think it was holding the I can't remember what it was doing. I think it was one of the bucket holding arms, and I basically lopped off the officer's pointing sword arm at the cuff and stuck it onto the bucket arm and made a different positioned officer, which I really do like that position that he turned out in the end. Kind of sort of goes towards the sort of the little vignette idea that I tend to do, and the fact that he's sort of liaising with the A, the guns are being loaded, so there's no need for him to have his sword up in the air, and B, he's kind of liaising with the captain or the major. So here's the second base. You can see that again that similar sort of basing style. I added a little bit of I think it's just called buff. It kind of looks like sand, but at the same time it's not quite sand. It's kind of like crushed rock, I think. Here we go. It's just called fine buff. It's another one of those old basecraft things. It looks a lot like sand, but it's, I don't know, it could well just be sand, but it's really good for just slapping down and sort of just having a bit of mixed terrain. And I think it came out looking really quite cool on the old bases this time. And little pebbles and stuff. So yeah, continue on with the old spin around the cannon. Sorry about that, I sort of went off track there. You can see these guys again, this gun's in the process of being loaded. So they've already, they're a little bit behind, they're sort of just finished positioning the cannon. These two guys are sort of moving into position. He's kind of moving back from after sort of, after mopping the barrel out and scooping out any powder that was left, and then this guy in a second will go and grab some ammo, and then he'll make his way round, as in this one, where they're up a few steps ahead, where this guy's actually bringing up the ammo. And that's that. And then finally the spare officer that I had, I really didn't want to waste him, so I thought, yeah, I'll just make him like a spare officer that I can use for just off standing off to the side of a battery. And I gave him the bike horn, which I don't normally use for sort of lower rank officers, unless they're sort of like perhaps Hanoverian or something. But yeah, I think he came out okay. And I used the telescope arm for the first time on this guy. Yeah, he's even got an ivory handled sabre there, or a sword. So this guy's obviously got some money. But then of course the Royal Artillery were actually proper officers. They didn't buy their commissions. They had to work for them. So that shows that he's maybe he's got a bit of wealth, but at the same time he's quite an intelligent guy. So yeah, and there's the batteries up together. Just kind of zoom in a little bit. I think it looks kind of cool. And happy to have a second battery for my Brits. They're still outgunned by the French, because the French have actually got three batteries of guns. But two is better than one, as they say. So that is those guys. And then finally, we have another brigade commander, this time French. I was kind of counting up brigade commanders when I was trying to sort of do a sort of a rough side-by-side view between my French and my British forces. I know my French forces are bigger than my British, but they were lacking in brigade commanders, so I thought I'd zap up another brigade commander. I'm happy with how this guy came out. Again, I sort of try and give him a different base, and this time, of course, I decided to give him a pure white horse as well, which I thought actually came out really cool. I did actually enjoy painting this horse. I don't really paint that many pure white horses because you don't actually get that many pure white horses around. They're actually sort of apparently quite a hard colour of horse to find. And so I built up this again a sort of a diorama using those bits of wood that I found out in the garden when I was trimming my rose bush. I suppose they're like rose stalks, I suppose, or the actual plant stalks. And you can see that there's a couple kind of buried into this sort of hillside. There's a bit of an overgrown path, and you can see some slate sticking out and some rocks and all sorts of moss and vegetation going around. And I think it came out looking really quite cool in the end. And of course the officer came out pretty cool as well, I thought. Perry's mounted colonel, this guy. I love the horse position. It's completely different to any other horse position that I've had. It's kind of like its head's kind of pointing down. I really do like it, actually. So that is, of course, the Legion d'Honneur on his chest there, and that is that. So quite a short video, and I'm basically going to announce that there could well be some delay between my next videos because I've basically run out of black powder stuff to do. I think I've got a few more French brigade commanders, but I don't really need to do them. And it's now just a case of me actually, biting the bullet and deciding what to do and get my Hanoverians sorted out. So my next update may well just be a general update and not have actually anything to show you. But we'll see. So until next time, hope you enjoyed watching the video. I'll of course continue watching all your guys' videos, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.